Welcome to the pod at My Village,
where we're going to have fun talking all things My Village Ministries, family preservation, and the church's involvement in this important work.
We are Phil and Mel and Jeff and Erin, and we don't know anything about running a podcast, but we do know a little bit about family preservation. Are you excited about today?
It's a big day.
Yeah. It's the first time we've done the intro with other people on the couch already.
Yeah.
You guys feel good about that? Yeah.
What if I knew lots about podcasting?
You probably would be the one on this foursome.
I know nothing, but
It looks like you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
These are our spouses. They're joining us today for a very special episode.
You can guess which one is
Yeah.
the other spouse.
Yes. We'll let you do the matching.
Phil and I do love each other with a deep love.
Well, it is. It's
Who
like
do
a
you
Jonathan
think loves
David.
each other more,
Yeah.
you two
I
or
feel
Erin
very
and I?
uncomfortable in this position.
That's fair. I am sorry on a deep level that you have to sit there. Okay, so every podcast we start with Phil and I asking each other two questions. So today we're going to ask you guys, we're each going to ask you one question. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go
You
first?
got it, ladies first.
Okay. This is a throwback to our very first podcast. We assume as our loving spouses, you two have listened to every single episode.
Mm-hmm. Almost.
Judging you based on your faces right now. So very first podcast, Phil asked me, if you had to date a Bible character, who would you date?
Ooh, yeah.
And now we're going to make you two answer that question.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
And
It can't be Jesus.
it can't be David,
I
Erin. 'cause
definitely
already
wanted
picked
to
him.
do Jesus.
Yeah.
Just makes sense.
You did give that clarifier the first time. Can't be Jesus.
Okay, I already have mine.
Okay,
Go
you
for
go
it.
first.
I definitely could not. I would want to marry David because he is so emotionally connectable
Mhm.
with all things.
Yes.
But we would be an emotional mess together. So that would not work well. We would not
Undignified
balance each other
weeping
out.
and
We would just
dancing.
be like wallowing in our feelings all day long. But I think I would need, I think about film. I need like a Paul. Like
Okay.
this is where we're going. This is where we're
Mhm.
heading. This is the truth. And we're walking this way. That's kind of like what I need. So
Excellent.
that's who
I think
would.
I specifically couldn't marry Paul because I would feel judged by him. He is above reproach in every way. I would just
But
feel
he also says, not me,
Are you
but
saying
Christ
I'm
in
not?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just,
No, I'm very glad to be married to you.
Oh, yeah.
You are Paul to me.
Mhm.
Paul couldn't get along with Barnabas, though, who's the son of encouragement.
That's true.
So
Mm.
there's something there.
Yeah.
Well,
not
they
perfect.
did get along for a long time before they
Well,
did.
yeah, but
So
then-
that's,
Yeah.
David also got along with his wives for a long time before he cheated on them. So not really a perfect example there.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Got to keep going back.
All right, babe.
All right. I like the color purple, so I'm going to go with Lydia
Wow.
because she's
Wow.
so
Well played.
purple.
Yeah.
No, my real answer is probably Ruth. Like that makes sense. She's very
Yeah. Do you feel that I'm similar to Ruth in any way?
lots of ways.
Will you be my kinsman redeemer?
So
Speaking
much
of liking
like Ruth.
purple, my dad loved purple and had an all purple car in college and
How's
like a
that
purple
possible?
bedspread. And it's
He had
like
a-
a real cool
He had to
I'm
get
bad
it
at
custom
cars. Cadillac.
painted,
It was
I'm
a purple
guessing.
Cadillac.
Does he still love purple as much as he loved it then?
All other colors in his life have been usurped by the Buckeyes. Everything he wears is Buckeye
It's
colors.
just scarlet and gray
Yep,
all day
just
long.
scarlet and gray.
Oh, God bless.
All right, Phil, your question.
So you both know your spouses really well, obviously. So when you think about Mel, when you think about me, what is the one thing that they bring to the workplace that you're saddened or you are, what's the best way of putting
You
it?
pity.
You pity
their
the fact
co-director.
that the co-director has to deal with this thing about them.
So, Erin, knowing Phil, what do you feel worst for me
Yeah.
about having to work with him?
How many times he says the most awkward things at the most awkward times, like too far things at
Yeah.
the most awkward times.
That's
Ben.
funny.
It's never happened.
Never happened.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about, Erin.
Yeah.
You're just crazy.
Yeah.
It is, no, we've determined it's a spiritual gift.
He did say his spiritual gift was saying something that was like too far, but not so far it crosses the line. Like everybody's
He
still
knows
laughing.
how to like swoop somebody in. Like I'm gonna
really
get
close
the,
to the
He's
line.
a wooer in many ways.
Yes.
Yep. But then there is the occasion where he says something way too far in the wrong context, and I'm just like, man, that was so awkward.
Every once in a while, I will be like, Phil, this was the line, and you are past it.
But I
And he doesn't
never.
know he's past it all the time. You know,
But I don't want to say those things.
Which is totally redeems it when he's like, I didn't want to say that.
Well, I didn't want to say it. It was just there. I
Well,
had
then
to.
we need to pray for the spirit, self-control.
Yeah.
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 Sounds
All
like
right. So you knowing me, what do you feel worst for Phil about?
I
having to
would
work with me?
probably say something to the extent of like your emotions or like if he, knowing Phil, probably would enjoy some time alone, so the fact that you're always being social and always there
Yeah.
might be a little bit difficult.
I
for
have
him.
made you do much more networking than you ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
And just this morning, we were working in this office together, and he was like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go work in a different room. And he did say
You
no
nailed
offense
it.
to you.
Yep.
My guess was that I was too controlling, but that's what you would say.
Oh.
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if
I
you're,
think we guessed that you would say that.
Everybody knew that. Everybody's experienced that. Probably everybody listening to this podcast has
Yes.
experienced his
They
too
have.
farness. In
The
some
only reason
way, shape,
people
or
listen
form.
is because of that line that he said. Okay, we're going to play the Newlywed game. Even though we have a combined almost 40 years of marriage. So we've been married 21, it'll be 22 at the end of the summer. And you
Yep.
guys are,
18 this year.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we're about to hit, can we just celebrate our 40th wedding?
Yeah,
anniversary?
we should.
Yeah.
What's the
fun.
in-between date between our anniversaries?
boy.
We could
We're
do that.
August 13th.
Oh, then
We
not
could go
far.
to
We're
back.
September
We could go back
27th.
to Jeff's favorite city in the
Yeah.
whole world, Park City.
Park City,
Park
yeah.
City.
It's a good place.
It took him
3
10
minutes.
3 minutes to determine
like-
it was the best place in the entire
I
world.
still stand by it. It is
We'll go
beautiful
back.
there.
We'll go back.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yep.
And I don't even ski. You guys actually.
What was
probably
what
would
was the
enjoy it more
restaurant
than
where
me.
it went down?
Oh, that place was like something like Roadhouse or
Yeah.
something. I can't remember.
It
It was just a burger place, but
yeah,
it was
like a
really,
pub
It was
burger
good.
type
It
neat.
place.
Yeah.
Yep,
It was so
highlight
good.
of my year, that moment at that
I think the
restaurant.
highlight was climbing Mosquito Mountain with you.
Oh,
and
gosh.
just
Wow.
watching
We just
Phil
talked about
run down the
I totally forgot about that.
We
Yeah.
just talked about mosquito.
Holy smokes! Yeah, that was amazing.
We also took a video of a guy
Oh, gosh.
running to his car, slapping mosquitoes off himself. And
Well,
I will occasionally send it to
He
you guys.
wasn't
just when we
slapping. No,
need-
he was running away from the.
the
the
But
buffalo.
But before
The
he got in
buffalo.
his car, he like
Yeah.
shook all these
That's
bugs off.
true.
It was Antelope Island, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Strong recommendation, though.
antelope.
It was
cool.
It was good.
Go-
Outside of the
gorgeous.
bugs, it was really cool.
If you wear a hazmat suit or
Yeah,
something to
correct.
keep all the bugs off, you're
Yes.
great.
Or go-
a beekeeper
Walk fast
suit.
enough.
If you go
beekeeper
during like the
suit.
cooler months, then you would eliminate
Sure.
that. So
Yeah,
that's
That
yeah.
sounds like
I didn't read
Yeah,
that in
understand
any
that.
reviews, so maybe we had like a weird anomaly. That there
Yeah,
were that many
maybe.
bugs.
But yeah, Antelope Island, Salt Lake City, hit
Yep.
it up.
I just
Awesome.
remember people were camping on Antelope Island.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that? And we
You
were
were like, how are you
"Oh."
How would you do
handling
this with the bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so combined 40 years of marriage, but we're going to play the Newlywed game. We have these outrageously large pads of paper.
As one would. As one would.
Hold on.
It was this or nothing. I had no other piece of paper in the office.
There you go, Phil.
Okay, so our staff prepared 6 questions for us. 3 that Phil and I will be the writers for, and 3 that Jeff and Erin will be the writers for.
Okay.
Here you are, sir. All right, Ben, do you have our questions ready?
I do have your questions ready.
Okay, what's the first one?
Question 1.
Let's
Yes.
do this.
What is your spouse's most used phrase?
So this is asked.
Okay, so it should
It's,
be
it's
about.
going towards them.
Yeah, yes,
You-
directed.
So
at
we're answering for our spouse.
So
Like what we
Melody and
think.
Phil's most used phrase.
So Aaron will answer what my most
Yeah,
used
but first you have
phrase
to
is.
write it down.
First, you have to write your own most used phrase.
Hmm.
I'm not as crazy.
Oh.
as
No,
Phil
you're
is.
not a phraser.
But we have to answer faster. There'll be a weird, awkward silence on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hard. I feel like I could think of one.
Yeah. Could I answer for Phil? I feel like I could
None of
answer.
them
Let's
can
just
be
all
said out
write one
loud.
for Phil. We did that in categories on our staff retreat. Those phrases.
Are you serious?
You had to write Phil's top 7 things he says as well.
Oh my word. Okay, I'm like getting stuck on one. And that's not gonna be.
I know what I'm going to answer for you, but I doubt that you will actually answer it.
I'm trying to pick up on his writing.
Do I?
Oh!
I put down what I think she's going to say.
Ah!
Okay. You want to go first, Ben?
Sure.
I'm gonna be
There's no
wrong.
way you wrote
This
this,
is too hard of a question.
but I find it hilarious and think that you say this often enough to warrant answering it. Son of a nutcracker.
She does say that.
She does.
Well
She's like,
played.
son of a nutcracker.
She does, yeah.
Yeah. I also say son of a biscuit a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote, can everyone just be cool?
Yes. Yeah.
That's my philosophy in life and how I'd like
Yep.
the staff and our children to behave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you noticed about Mel where if you say something ridiculous to her, it's usually in that category. She repeats like the last one or two, maybe three words that is said in that sentence.
Well,
Give
give
The
an
an
example
example.
is we were driving and Phil was looking up a restaurant for us to go to. I thought he would have like Arby's or Chick-fil-A or some fast food place for us to swing through. And he was like, I found this place called Mommy's Kitchen. And I was like, Mommy's Kitchen?
Yeah.
She always does
I
that
always
with
do
that
that like high-pitched
high-pitched tone.
Yep. Yeah, she does.
Mommy's
It's
kitchen.
endearing.
Yeah, when
That's
it's
true.
true.
You do
Yeah.
that.
And in my
It's
defense,
endearing.
Mommy's Kitchen was like inside a Radisson's lobby. It was like the hotel.
Nice.
And that's
Yeah.
where we went.
It was,
Every surface was so sticky.
well,
Well,
it was good food.
all right. Erin, what is Phil's phrase?
Okay, praise the shepherd.
Ah, yeah, that's a good one. I did sweet nectar.
Oh, that's
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I thought you were
That's
going
good
to say.
too.
But anyways,
Yeah.
Okay.
just wasted like $4.
Next question. This is going to take the whole hour. We're not going to get to anything serious.
What is the first thing that your spouse, so you're answering for the other person,
Okay.
would buy if they won the lottery?
Ooh.
So, what would you buy?
What
if
would
you
I
won?
buy?
So yeah, what would Erin buy? And what would Jeff buy? So what would Erin buy?
Mine's obvious.
This is going to be it. This is where Jeff and I take the lead.
I feel like we talk about this. I'd be surprised if you don't write this.
You guys want to go first this time?
Sure.
A
would you buy?
vacation or trip.
I was going to put that son of encouragement. I put house because we're in the process of. I thought you'd pay for it.
Yeah,
What would you
that
buy?
was disappointing.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Definitely a house, a bigger house.
A larger house. I'm sorry your marriage isn't as good as ours.
It's early.
It's literally the most obvious thing because we cram
We do have
seven
seven
people
in
into
1,400 square feet.
1,400 square feet.
Yeah,
so.
14.
It's 200 square foot a person. That's fair.
That's
generous.
ample. No basement, no garage.
Yeah.
You got a shed though.
We have a really good shed.
Yeah.
When we lived there before, we
large
didn't even have a
igloo
closet.
in the winter.
Yeah.
Now
Did
we
you
at
fit
least
your
have a
whole
closet.
family in the shed?
In the shed?
Standing? Yes.
Yes, definitely.
It's 200 square feet,
Okay.
which
There
is
you go.
large for a shed.
Yeah, we could all hang out there if we really had to.
We'll have you guys over for a shed.
Yeah,
hang.
we should have a shed dinner.
Yeah.
Mommy's kitchen.
What the
My-
Well played. All right. This is the last question that Phil and I will write for.
Okay. So you're again writing for your spouse.
Okay.
What were their first impressions of you? Just in a couple words.
What was Erin's first
Yeah.
impression?
Are you going to
Your
say what
first impression of me.
I would say? Are we giving, how many words are we giving?
I put 2 words.
I'm so nervous about what you're laughing
First
about.
impressions.
Yeah.
First impressions.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Is it, wait, it's me,
What were
your,
your first impression
Of
me?
you.
So I
Okay.
wrote down what I thought your first
Okay.
impression was. You have to
Be
first. this
sure
time.
to show the camera.
Yeah.
maybe, because when I met you, you were very little and I knew your
I was
brother.
very young.
She was very young.
Little
I would
might be a
say,
weird word to say.
Like 7?
I want to babysit
no,
you.
she was like, yeah, like literally I was good friends with
I
her older
was-
brother.
11 or 12 probably when you met me.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
So, I mean, I probably was just like, that's,
She was
Makes mine
prepubescent.
worse.
yeah, I would say like little sister or little kid or whatever. I don't know.
Okay. Just
Phil
I
is
feel like
restraining.
I put 2 disjointed thoughts together in my mind as my 2 words, so just don't judge me. I put hot and young.
Yes. Amazing.
I knew you were going to say I was young, but I didn't tie together.
He's a
that
pedophile.
you were
I
real
didn't-
creepy that you
Yeah, I didn't. When I first met you, very first met you, you were way too young for me to think. that
That's
you were hot.
very true. I realized that as you're talking.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the young part right. Do we get a
Yeah,
half
can
point?
we have a half point?
Nope.
We negated it with the
We'll
inappropriateness.
decide that after the game is over. We'll decide if you're gonna have.
Does it have to be verbatim?
No, it's just
Yeah, okay.
similar idea. So I think that deserves
For what? The trophy?
No, for this answer. Just answers in general.
Okay.
Okay. Well, considering I first met Phil in the pool,
Hot and
about to
young.
play intramural inner tube water polo, I would say hot and chiseled
Nice.
or funny.
Holy eye candy. Bring it up.
Did you write holy eye candy for real? That's amazing.
beautiful.
That's what I thought.
This
when I
may be
first met
too
you,
awkward
too.
to pat. We may just need to keep writing. It's going to it's
No,
not
we can do it.
necessary.
We can do it. I think we
Okay.
can do it.
All right. You can do hard
You
things.
can do hard things.
Scores 1-1.
Okay. Yes.
Score is
So
1 to
happy
1.5.
Don't worry.
You can't see us.
You guys didn't want to be on camera. This is
Yeah,
working
this is
out great.
perfect. Oh, how dare you? Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's the question?
Okay, your question is something that your spouse is bad at, but they think they're good at.
So Phil and I are bad at them?
Yeah.
Think we're good at?
Okay.
Wow.
If we think we're good at it, how will we ever answer? I know something I'm bad at, but I know that I'm bad at.
Because this could be something that they totally you know.
Yeah, I think I have it.
I'm opening up a can of worms with this one.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's something that I think he thinks he's good at. I think he's bad at. Okay.
This is dicey.
Okay.
Yours is much more safe. Mine's like, yeah, I should have
It's
done
okay, she
something
can
like
handle
that. Yeah, she can.
Phil, you have to go first.
Cleaning.
Oh, I did almost put that. That's a bummer. I
It's
put
close.
packing.
Packing. He packed the truck really well. So is it like individual suitcases? Or the back of your van?
Remembering things.
I was a ninja with our truck on the way
He
down.
was a ninja with the truck.
Yeah, when he has to pack, when he knows it's like all on him, I think he does actually do a pretty good
It was
job.
the Tetrising of the truck. I have no idea how he does it, like remembering enough ties.
Well, yeah, if it's if
Remembering my one tie.
there's
Remembering
no
zero ties.
Yeah, when we go on family vacations, he would prefer to
How many-
shove everything into
how
the
many
car.
tank tops and deep V's? do you use?
Yes, you used deep V. Good job.
Deep
you.
plunging me.
Oh,
I
I
prefer.
almost said cleaning. Bummer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I should have written something that I think you're actually going to say, but yeah.
I was going to say driving.
No. But that I thought that would be too obvious. That would be something that you would
I didn't say
think.
parking. I thought you maybe would like lump all of driving together.
Yeah, I thought
I had a
maybe.
couple of-
Yeah, I actually think you're a very good driver. Just parking.
She,
you're
yeah,
not.
parking. She's
She's
so
the
bad.
worst.
Yeah.
Literally. But
It's my Achilles heel.
actually, she's not the worst because she's never hit a parked car. She's
That's
just
not true. I hit a park car with the first day I had my license, but I haven't
Oh.
since then.
well since I've
Wow.
You know,
ridden with you.
Lori Neff is also the worst parker ever. When she lived at our house, she was notorious for parking
Like
so
halfway
far off
into
the
the
street where you
street.
didn't know if it
That's
was a
true.
car driving down the
true.
road.
You didn't
or
know
parked.
which side of the
At
At one
street
point,
she was parked.
at one point, I took out a tape measure to see how far she was off
You
the curb.
did.
Take a guess,
12 inches.
Jeff.
16?
Yeah, I mean a foot, yeah.
27 inches,
No.
27. Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
that's
Is
bad.
this 27 inches?
Roughly. I mean, at that point, you really do think that that car's driving on the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
Or
You do.
parked on the other
Yeah,
side?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's hard to
bad.
It's
say.
bad.
All right. What did you really put?
I put feedback, giving feedback. Because you just think that you're so like gentle with it, but sometimes you're just not. So
It's amazing.
yeah.
So brutal.
I mean, it's not all the time. It's just
my
something
backup
where
choices
you
were directions and colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a
Well,
little
yeah,
bit
colors.
colorblind. That's what
Colors I
What
should
color
have
are you
done.
wearing
That's
today?
the thing.
I do know that this is coral-ish.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
okay.
Nailed
That
it.
was
No,
good.
it's mainly
black
just the
and navy
blacks and
blue.
blues.
Oh.
She's literally colorblind.
There's a
with
board
that.
game called Hues and Cues, though, where you like,
Yes, I know
Yeah.
Hues and Cues.
and I'm
You can't
terrible at
figure
it.
out.
That's
Okay.
yeah, you're not
All right.
not that bad.
All right. Next question.
So if your spouse was if they were to write a book that has nothing to do with family preservation, what the topic of that
Ooh,
book.
that's a
I
fun.
like that.
Okay.
Anything other
Wait, we
than-
got to repeat it in case people
Can't
can't
be
hear.
family preservation, just because that's the
If your
topic.
spouse
the
wrote
topic?
a book
What's
about
your
something
topic? Yeah.
other than family preservation,
If you guess
what's
the
the
title,
topic?
double points.
Whoa,
Ooh.
title.
The title.
Babe, you should know this.
Okay, let me think.
She's writing quickly. She knows. Can I guess yours?
That's
How to be a great middle school gym coach.
Oh my god. You're giving me ideas now.
It's a cookbook called Sweet Nectar. Subtitle Talk to Me.
All right, I got mine.
Okay, I'll go first this time. I want to write a book on a funny book on parenting with the title Sinners Raising Sinners,
Okay.
which I have
that's-
told you.
But parenting was too in the wheelhouse of
Family
preservation, so I stayed
But
away
it's a
from
funny memoir.
It is,
All
and
mistakes we made.
I do love that.
What did you
We've had a
put?
good laugh. I wrote Disney Magic
Oh!
because that's
Yeah.
you
You know how
love
to get around
Disney,
Disney.
and you're very good at
Yeah,
it. So.
but I'm definitely like, there's people who blog about it all the time. I don't know, like all the secrets and stuff like
Right.
that. But I do like Disney
Mhm.
more than
Disney
most
Magic,
Christians.
I like that. You're never gonna guess it, so just
Am I guessing the title?
yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Genre.
Then title.
Well, if I'm not going to ever guess it, that's kind of table talk. But I was going to say sports, but it's not sports. So, cooking breakfast.
Ooh.
How to silence a room? My word.
How to silence a room? What does that mean? Just like with an awkward. You're really leaning into Phil says awkward.
Just
things.
leaning into how he can say too far things,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes his smells can silence her.
My word. I'm emotionally fragile.
Do you think your kids or your wife are more brutal to you on this podcast so far?
This
I
podcast's
just
not
said
done.
you were hot and chiseled.
Yeah, 23 years ago.
Did he have hair at the time? That's the question.
25
He
years
did.
ago.
He did have hair, and he had earrings.
Double
and
cuff.
he went to the tanning bed.
Double
Anything
cuff.
else you want to know about?
You went to a tanning bed? Oh.
I wasn't-
Next staff dress up
I
day,
didn't
we'll
know
all get a
Jesus
spray
yet.
tan.
I didn't know Jesus yet.
Jesus. So you felt
It's
like
not
a
my
tan
fault.
was.
He actually one time. Can
My
I share
word.
this story?
We don't have time.
Can I share this story?
We've already down to like 30 minutes.
Okay. He took me to a tanning bed as part of our date, and I sat in the car while he went to the tanning bed.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
That is phenomenal. Oh, to
Pure
go back to the
vanity.
fact that Jeff answered that Phil probably doesn't like that I don't want to be alone ever. Jeff is referring to our first years of marriage, where I was coming from a household of 8 people and he was an introvert who loved being alone. And I would just follow him from room to room and be like, what are we going to do now? What do you want to do? Why aren't we doing anything together?
It's definitely
is that
something
how
I
you-
did
that
not
sounds like a
Is
anticipate.
that how you
young.
picture me working with Phil?
Yeah.
That sounds like a very young bride.
Yes. Well, just in general, I just wasn't prepared for it. I was like, single
My-
guy. I'd lived on my own for probably 5 years.
Yeah,
you
being
know?
alone. Yeah.
Literally
But you
had my own
Did you
place.
somewhat like being with me at least?
Yeah, I loved it. I just didn't expect 24/7.
Okay, last question.
Wow, it comes down to this.
We're gonna get this.
It does
gonna
come down to
happen.
this.
There's not very many points.
Yeah. We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are
This will
a
determine
huge
the winner.
disappointment. Yes.
These are hard questions to
These
get
are.
exactly
I'm
right.
sorry. Okay. This question is: when did you holding the boards know you wanted to marry your spouse?
Okay.
So you'll know it.
Like year or event?
Name an event for a moment. It's supposed to-
Can you say the question again?
When did you know you wanted to marry your spouse?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
For a long time.
You go
Who's
first.
I'm first. I don't want to give too many qualifiers because I don't want it to be cheating, but I'm going to say on the hill outside of Ruby Tuesdays, which was during the summer
when she
between
when she
senior year
graduated
and
middle
freshman year.
school.
Wow.
Ruby Tuesday.
Wow.
We win marriage. I mean, maybe you'll get it too.
I thought it was when she graduated 8th grade.
Yeah.
Young and hot.
Wait, was there a moment for both of you on the hill of Ruby Tuesdays or
Yeah.
parking lot?
Yeah.
And you both like just proclaimed.
I think we
that this
told
was-
each other we loved each other
Yeah.
the first time,
Yeah.
which was pretty serious to us that was where we were heading.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was not I didn't never dated. So
Mhm.
like when we got to the place where I felt like this is someone who I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, I knew.
Mhm.
So
He never waffled.
no.
Very loyal.
So cool.
There's an answer I want to give that would be more enjoyable, but I'm going to try to tie it up. This is so hard. I wouldn't even. This
Can
is
you
just
tell us your enjoyable answer after?
maybe. I'm going to say when you saw my zeal working at the camp
When was that?
after I graduated, or it was between my
Mhm.
senior and super senior year.
So I think
Super
we
senior.
actually. So I put my junior year of college, which would have been
Yeah.
the time that
I
you.
don't know if that's good enough, but yeah, that's very
It's not
similar.
quite as good as Ruby
No,
Tuesdays.
no, it's not.
All I remember, okay, this is all. Ours. This is a little trickier for us because we came to the conclusion at very different times. Like I was,
Yeah,
I
it's
kind of
definitely
knew that
trickier.
I wanted to marry him. I mean, we like broke up for a year and got back together, and he was still trying to figure out if he was going to do like if ministry and marriage could coexist.
Mhm.
But in my junior year, I only remembered that because senior year we were broken up, and you would come back to campus to see your friends, and I was so mad that you were coming back to campus because I just wanted to like be able to live my life and not have him there. But I was mad because I loved you, and
Because
you were still trying to figure out your life, and you were hot and chiseled, yes. So I don't know. That's tricky. It wasn't a moment. I mean, there was never a moment for me. I would say that, but.
Marshall's one.
Oh yeah, the half point.
Well, no, they got that one.
Yeah,
That,
Ruby
that one
Tuesdays
didn't really
parking
count.
lot.
Yeah. Okay.
That was.
What was the enjoyable answer?
Yeah, what was
Oh,
the
we'll
funny
talk about
answer?
it later.
Oh boy, see,
It's
probably not appropriate. Too far.
not family friendly podcast
Yeah.
appropriate.
Mhm.
Well, we have been married almost 4 years longer than you, so
Yeah,
it makes sense that we would win.
Mm-hmm.
We figured out a lot in these last.
But we
4
dated for
years.
6 years.
Ooh.
but Jeff,
so what
Jeff
year
met
did you get
Holiday when
together?
she was like 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
He
got
was
together. I
20.
was just
Yeah.
thinking about this.
Sorry, I'll stop saying.
We started dating in 2007.
No,
Okay, we got
No.
married in 2005.
that's not true at all.
2003.
We got married in 2008.
2003.
It would have
Yeah,
been 2000.
2003.
No, because 2002. It's my guess.
We started
Anyways.
dating in 2002.
So yeah,
Or
we've
maybe
been
01.
together the same amount of time.
Look at that.
All right, so on to the more serious part of the podcast. We've already lost half the listeners.
Like it's-
More than that,
It's
probably.
too much.
We were the first to host families, pretty much. I think there might have been
There's one in
or
between.
two, or yeah, one in between. For you guys, Phil and I have already talked about this a decent amount on the podcast, but what like made you feel drawn to being a host family, or that ministry in general?
Mhm.
I mean, Phil and I had already been fostering at that point, and our hearts were already drawn to the work of just meeting families in their crisis. And much like Phil has described before, you know, it was because of our experience with foster care that kind of led us to try to figure out a different way to participate in the lives of families who are going through crisis than what we had been doing through
Yeah.
foster care. I do remember that when we knew that, you know, we were going to start doing a family preservation ministry, that we did not want to be the first host families because we wanted to give other people the opportunity to say yes to something that was already an easy yes to us. But
Yeah.
we wanted to kind of like draw out the body of Christ for the people who were in
Draw
a
out
position
the
to say
marshals.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, that goes along with the whole idea of MVM being a ministry that serves the church, not necessarily families.
Yep, that's right. So yeah, I mean, I think that we were on board from the get-go. We knew that we would eventually host. We just had no idea it was going to be right away.
Yeah.
So
You have a different answer.
I think mine was, I mean, and you guys have talked about this on your previous podcasts, but our story with going to Boys Town and kind of having that shared heart, lived experience, understanding, that we wanted to do something to minister to the needy, the orphan, and I think for me, it was one of those, we had heard Phil talk about how my village kind of also ministers to the parents, and we found that very attractive, thinking like challenged our way of thinking. And so, I think we had also talked about doing some fostering.
Yeah.
We had felt called to do that. And then when just the stars aligned there.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes Phil's phone rings during our podcast.
that's awesome.
It's because tell me to pray. So spiritual.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
spiritual.
Should we pray right now?
Good. Probably be good.
Yeah. What were some of your hesitancies for either of you? Like, man, this is already hard at our home, or this could kind of shake things up. Like, what were some of the things that maybe would have tempted you to say no, but you obviously didn't say no?
I'm a creature of comfort. And so in general, like I just struggle with that. And so like the idea of it putting us out of our routines, our regular scheduled programming was challenging for me. I also just was concerned on how it would affect our kids. So like the influence that the other kids would be on our kids. That was some of my initial hesitancies.
Yeah.
Jeff, out of curiosity, I know it was a pretty big shift for Melody to have a different mindset than what you guys had at Boys Town of like, oh, we're here to invest in the parents as well. Was that a significant shift for you as well?
Yes, definitely. It's one of those things where, it's not common for when you think about, it's always about the kids. It's just, society as a whole, they're thinking about that, and you're not thinking about what's going on upstream. And so like when that concept was introduced to me, that was very attractive because I identify it as something that's true. Like it is where the source is, you're gonna go upstream and help the problem rather than saving the people out of the river that are right there. So you're stopping the problem.
To identify or to go along with the hesitancy you shared, how do you feel like it's going for our life to not be interrupting your comfort? How much regularly scheduled programming is there at the Marshall House?
I don't even know how I said those words. I don't know what regularly scheduled programming is. I think my idea of what it was.
Yeah. What percentage of you regrets that and what percentage is thankful?
Oh, 100% thankful. I don't regret it. I think that, parenting and being someone who, cares about family is just what our life is about. And so it's very fulfilling. And I don't regret it at all. It's brought about lots of sweet challenges and problems that the Lord has, been so faithful through.
Yeah.
So
what about you? Any like hesitancies or?
Yeah, I think mine is a little nuanced. But I still actually wrestle with this from time to time. But I think that, our oldest is adopted out of foster care. And I just was nervous or cautious or careful about, we are about to go into family preservation and not only just be a host family, but run a ministry that is about keeping a family together. And that was not true for her. That was not true of her story. And how do we walk alongside of her and help her understand why our hearts are where they are and how our hearts are for her family, her biological family. And that has continued to be something that I've really wrestled through in the years as we've been doing family preservation is how do we how do we come alongside of our kids whose stories didn't end that way?
Yeah.
And we wish that they would have. So
Yeah.
I feel like, honestly, that was probably my biggest hesitation. It wasn't a hesitation. It was just okay, we need to pay attention to this. We need to make sure that we, understand that this could be really nuanced for our kids.
Yeah.
So
Do you feel like you've had, this is going to be the wrong phrasing, but like had that hesitation answered some? Like, man, I've actually seen it be as hard as I thought, or I've seen it be a really beautiful thing playing out, or just a piece of it.
yeah, I think it has been incredibly healing for our kids to be in this work. I really do mean that. And I don't know what parts of it are so healing to them, but I would imagine that it is impactful to them that we are so committed to a family as a whole, and moms, and sticking together with them, and partnering with them. I recently just had like a really beautiful conversation with one of my kids, just about their thoughts on foster care versus their thoughts on My Village, and how they really see that My Village is like, there's the heart of God is so much in the work of family preservation. And I was kind of taken aback.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment. And so, I do feel like I've been able to gain some confidence around, just what this does for our family, even though our family isn't, not all of our kids are biologically related to us, but still, even in a family like that, this message can still be so impactful to them. So,
It's redeeming too, to some degree. And here's what I mean by that. I think most of the world would look at the circumstances that the families were blessed to serve to go through to say that those kids do need it, like they should be separated from their parents. And in this, I think what our kids are seeing is, no, we fight for families, and I think there's a level of empathy that is appropriate that they have towards situations that they would not have otherwise.
Yeah.
Because you're bombarded by what the world says, is right and good and true and beautiful. But no, let's look at what God's heart is here. And I think it's helped them understand that.
Yeah.
That no one's too far away from God's grace. You know what I mean? And we should fight for what is good and true and beautiful. That's family.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So-
Holding that standard high.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think it also, just in our particular, just in the event that anybody's listening who kind of has a family makeup like ours, I think that our efforts in growing relationships with parents has almost confirmed to our kids that is the same amount of effort that we've given towards their birth families too.
Yeah.
And if we had the opportunity at all times to have that closeness with their families, we would.
Yeah.
And so in some ways, I feel like it's just a way for us to, live tangibly what we really wish for or want for in their families.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that probably a lot of people would kind of assume you've chosen a lane, like, oh, we're and both our families are adopted families, but like we're an adopted family. That's how we're serving the orphan and the widow. But I think, I don't know that I've ever thought about it quite at the depth of what you just shared. Just this idea that it puts like weight behind your words that you did fight for their families, because then they're watching you live that out in other ways, and they're getting to see kind of a variety of ways that you're serving vulnerable families, and getting to be part of that with you, not just hear you say that happened.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So for this podcast and the next one, we're going to, part of our main hope is that we can help those that are thinking about becoming a host family to count the cost. Then also to equip those, hopefully to some degree, and encourage those that are serving as a host family in their marriage and in their family. And so I guess kind of as we think about that, we talk about this ministry being one of interruption and inconvenience. It's not easy. It is challenging.
Yeah.
And so what are some of maybe the unique challenges as you host that you face within your marriage, but then also just as a family with your kids as well? Jeff and Erin, what would you guys say to that? Melody, feel free to chime in too. This is just going to be a conversation here. So
I feel like the thing that jumps to my mind first is that just Melody is a precious resource. And, there's a lot of needs. And so like, whenever we count the cost, we have to count the fact that like our kids are going to be dysregulated because they want her in that way. They're used to having a certain amount of attention, and so then, behaviors spike, and it's just it's more of a balancing act. It's challenging to feel like we have what it takes, and we don't. Like, we ultimately, every time we've done it, we've had to, just trust that the Lord would provide, and get us through, and make it so that our kids feel, still feel like they're getting what they need to.
That's
And
good.
and he's provided every time we've, obviously not without struggle, but I do feel like our kids, it's been a unique experience for us every time we've done it, for them to be able to give of themselves, be selfless, learn how to be selfless. Not that they did that willingly necessarily all the time, but looking back, they can look and say, well, we were able to do this thing, and how cool that is that I got to experience blessing this family this way. So,
Yeah, I don't think that kids can on their own identify, I'm feeling dysregulated because my mom's attention is split in more ways.
right.
And so sometimes we've tried to give them words for that. Like, hey, part of our yes here, or even afterwards when we're kind of talking about it as a family, like, we know that took mom's time or dad's time in ways that meant you were giving up that, like, trying to give them words to that, because I don't think kids necessarily recognize, I need my mom's attention and she's not giving it to me.
Right.
But instead they're just like, I'm mad at this kid because he's here or something like that. And so we've tried to give them words for that when we can.
Yeah, Erin, I'm going to pick on you. One thing we talk about in training, if you've been to our training, we talk about this idea of proactive parenting. And so equipping kids with tools in advance so that when they face a hard time, they can handle that well. So hosting is obviously can be a hard time for kids and for a family. So what are some of the things that you've done with our kids to help them ready them for the hosting, the disruption that can come with it? What are some of those proactive parenting things that you're teaching the kids to do? Think about, to focus on?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm out of the game a little bit because we haven't had a longer hosting for a long time, but we have had a little one, which now that our kids are older, it doesn't seem as much like a disruption because our kids just love being with her. But I feel like we generally will use the dining room table as a place where we talk with our kids about, hey, this is what's coming up. This is what we're preparing for. And we will sometimes share a little bit of the hardship that this family is going through, because we feel like it's important for our kids to understand, we want to protect them, but we also want them to understand the world is the way it is. And we want them to know how they can kind of come alongside of people in the name of Jesus to, just to support and encourage. And so I think we have often had some conversations with our kids about, what this mom is experiencing and why it's important and valuable for us to come alongside of them and love on them. And these are some ways that we can love on this little girl right now. These are some ways you can talk to her. And what are some ways we can connect with mom too? Do you want to write her a card? Do you want to, how can we pray for her? We just kind of like have a conversation. And usually it's around the dinner table, I would say, for the most part. But
Your guys' dinner table is the heart of your home. It's
It's a gathering place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. We've done that some with our kids even more as they grew, which I'm sure is true for you guys also. I think there's something about, we're asking you guys to sacrifice some. In our house, it's very much like sometimes giving up your own bed and moving around and stuff.
Yeah.
And so for you to have some understanding of what this family's going through will help you be able to do that with a more joyful heart.
Yeah.
And then there also is that byproduct of you have a wider perspective on what's going on in the world around you, or all the problems in the world aren't like what your middle school friend said to you today.
Right.
But instead it's like, man, these kiddos are spending the next night at a homeless shelter instead of within their home. So I just think there's like this preparation, proactive parenting that you're doing that then also has the byproduct of widening your kids' perspective.
Yeah. And something I was thinking of too while Jeff was talking is, any host family who's listening will say yes and amen to this, but you just kind of know when you're going into a hosting that there's going to be spiritual attack in your home. That's going to be for sure in your marriage and for sure in your relationships with your kids. And so in some ways, I feel like when we are getting ready to host or have, a kiddo overnight or something, we're just like, oh, we better start being really intentional about praying, even though we of course have rhythms, but I just feel like it even more so puts us on like, okay, let's get our armor on because we know
Yeah.
the enemy wants nothing to do with this and our home is going to feel that. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
At least you're recognizing that. Sometimes we're like halfway into a fight and we're
Reactive.
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We don't usually fight about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The enemy's getting in the mix.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel
we're
like
not
I
perfect
learned.
at either.
Yeah, I learned to take multivitamins beforehand. 'Cause just
That's right.
I get sick every single time.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Yes, our spiritual attack does look like relational
Yep.
Yeah.
strife
Illness.
and then illness.
Illness.
Yep.
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 Yeah. What about your, sorry, you can.
No, go for it.
I was just going to ask, like, and you can be as honest as you want about this. So can
Okay.
you? Like, what have been some hard parts in your marriage during hostings that have made it, or like even ideas for how couples could be healthy in their marriage when they're saying yes to hosting and changes and dysregulated people in their home?
I mean, I think, well, in our home, we are both working.
Mhm.
So we've really had to learn how to tag team a lot. Like, where can there be some sacrifice on one person's part? Where does the sacrifice need to happen on another person's part? I just feel like it's more than just juggling schedules. It's really kind of coming together and figuring out how can we work together to make this happen and to keep our family in a good state and afloat is something that I would say to that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely 100% agree with that. Yeah. I feel like that was going to be my answer too, really.
Mhm.
I feel like it's just, you need to be able to communicate. You need to have flexibility because we both obviously work too. And you need to have the mindset of like, how can I die to my specific urgent needs or whatever in these situations so that we can do what's best for the other person too. But a lot of times I just feel like it's, honestly, it's just something we kind of muster through sometimes. Like we're gonna try to minimize
your teeth and survive.
yeah, we're going to try to minimize the
That's it.
impact as
Yep.
much as we can because we want to have our marriage still thrive, still flourish. We want our kids to feel like this. And it's always this tightrope act. And so that's where I really do feel like the Lord just kind of comes in and is, you can look back at different situations during our hostings of where this thing happened that gave me the time to do this thing. I had some easier day at work or, something like that. And so I do think it's, grit our teeth and pray,
Yeah. And it's interesting. I don't know that every family operates this way, but I certainly feel like when we have someone coming into our home with a hosting or whatever, that we kind of dial in and like our home just kind of,
Yeah.
and we're just, more intentional about being together and being family versus like, okay, we got to keep going. We got to keep doing all the things. It's almost like kind of a cool process for us because it's like, okay, well, we're going to just, kind of zoom into our family and into our home and just be concentrated on, keeping things, just feeling safe and secure for our kids and for this kiddo coming in. And I don't know, I think that's kind of a benefit I noticed from.
I think to speak to that very practically, Erin's done this really well. There's been a couple things. She uses the language of team, like we're a team in our marriage, we're a team in our family, and talking about what that looks like does matter a lot. That we're not against each other, we're for each other. So what does that mean? To be for each other, to be on a team, even when things get really hard and disruptive and inconvenienced, and the list goes on and on. So she does a really good job of that. But then also, very practically, especially for a longer hosting, it is important that you're not, as a family, you're not interrupted by a lot of other people because there does need to be like this established relationship built that we're here to build connection with you as a child, as your caregiver during this time. We don't want there to be confusion as to who that is. There needs to be stability. There can't be a lot of people in and out. We've done that in foster care. We've done that in hostings as well for longer hostings. where you just can't have the disruption of people like, and this is our home. Our home is kind of an open door policy, neighbors, friends.
Mm-hmm.
We love hospitality just in general. And in some of those initial times, again, with foster care and hosting, we said like no guests for 2 weeks. I don't know if we did that very practically. Like we just have to build a connection and start to establish trust and relationship with those kids that are coming into our home. And so that's hard for me to do, to give up community in that way initially. But it's something that I think is really necessary as you welcome in. Yeah, especially for longer situations.
That's a good point. We are definitely ruthless with our schedule.
Yeah.
Like I try to make as much margin as I possibly can to the point
That's
of
Jeff's first question anytime that we're considering a hosting. He's like, what are you going to cancel off of our schedule?
She likes to
and
fill
he's
up our
no
schedule.
nonsense about it.
I just want
That's
It's
right.
like, get out the planner, start
because
crossing
we're walking a
stuff off.
tightrope. I want to make sure that I have as much
That's right.
wiggle room as I can. So
A really cool story that came to my mind, I'll try to share it quickly, but one of our kiddos who is permanently in our home, he was not with us for a good year of his life. And he was little, like toddler age when he was apart from us. And long story, we had to go and get him from another state and bring him home. And every time we would go into a restaurant or we would make a pit stop on the way home, there was just so much unrest in his spirit with those transitions. And I remember going to Chipotle and he just felt so, just nervous or disrupted, dysregulated. And we got home and it was super late. It was dark, completely dark. The house was completely dark. And he got one of our kids helped him get out of the van and he went up to our front door and he I think was one of the first people into the house. He walked right in and there was no caution at all to just walk into our house. And I remember that so clearly because I was like, gosh, he has not been here for a year.
Yeah.
And yet his body knows that this is a home where he is welcome and he is safe.
awesome. Yeah.
And I just think about that for our longer hostings, even for shorter hostings, your home life, the existence of your home matters to these kids and their bodies will hold on to that safety.
Yeah.
And we have a real opportunity to create a space where they get to feel safe.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked, just to go back to some of the marriage stuff, we worked at Boys Town for a while, like Jeff said. We were house parents, and our shift was 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Like you just had to be out with the girls all day, every day. And we, because of that, came up with this like trading routine where we would take turns doing the morning routine and the other person got to sleep in. And I will never forget, because I still feel challenged by this in my marriage, but one of the other couples on the hill with us, it was like, I think 3 days in a row, the dad did the morning routine and let the mom sleep in. And I think she might have been sick, but I was asking him, I was like, oh, isn't that so? I was so in this mindset of like things being fair and equal between us, even in ministry. I was like, oh, isn't that so frustrating? Is she going to do 3 days for you? And she comes back. Keep in mind, I was like 24. I was very young. And he was like, oh man, I just like, what a joy and privilege that I got to serve her for those 3 days by getting up early. And I was like, wow, I know, like so immature. But I think about that in the work that we're doing too. If we're talking about staying healthy in our marriage, is our attitude towards one another. At the end of the day, when we both feel like I've got 0% to give, but also you have 0% to give and somebody needs to give something, is our attitude and heart for each other. And then for our kids, like, man, how can I serve you so that we can stay healthy in serving others? Because I don't think God calls us to just ruin our marriages and our kids in order to do ministry.
Yeah.
I think if anything, it has built up our marriage and our parenting. Not to say there aren't moments where we feel like it's falling apart at the seams, but
It's forced us to be unified, like to talk things out, to figure things out, to identify what our strengths and weaknesses are together, what you're going to do, what I'm going to do, how I can help you, how you can help me. It's
it
a crucible.
increases the intentionality and all of that stuff, I think, where you can kind of be on cruise control or something otherwise.
Yeah.
And I remember back to our longer hostings, and truly the care community and our church body was one of the most helpful things in us kind of staying online in our marriage and in our family.
Yeah.
Like we could not have done the work that we were doing without our care communities, reaching out and saying, hey, can we take your boys for a play date for 2 hours?
Absolutely.
Or can we bring a meal?
Yeah, the
or
meals. Yeah.
It really matters that everybody is involved. And the care community is actually easing the burden of what needs to stay so focused in the home.
Yeah.
And I remember that being just really, really impactful for us in those longer hostings, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a phrase that we've used within the ministry too, where if your marriage is strong, you'll go out strong. And so if you're not strong in your marriage before, during a hosting, you're not going to be effective within the hosting, at least as effective as you could be. And you need to lean upon your church support in all the ways that they're offering. We're up against the clock.
Yep.
And so last question here.
Okay.
Love to ask way more, but how has this shaped your faith? Through hostings, through this ministry, how have you noticed shaped your faith? Maybe even your family's faith in general.
Yeah. I think, for me, it's definitely, it's putting yourself in a position to where you're out on a limb, and experiencing the Lord, coming through in that way. It's just something you can't do. You can't experience if you're sitting on your couch. You just can't. Like you can think about the goodness of the Lord. You can, study the word and have this like idea or head knowledge of it. But until you actually like step out onto the branch and it's just you and the Lord, like there's a realness of it that was not there before for me. It's just one of those things where I really felt like nervous and excited and wanted to help, but also felt like I just completely ill-equipped. Like I would never have done it if I didn't have Melody, because I knew her strengths and her things. But I also feel like even once we said yes, it pushed me beyond even that. Like, and so, and I'm grateful, because I feel like if I had not said yes, or if I had known how it was going to go before I had said yes, I probably wouldn't have said yes. But then it's just such a sweet experience that you can't really describe unless you do it. So,
yeah, I really feel like I have just so craved to understand the compassion of the Lord, and this has really helped to kind of, to understand the compassion of the Lord even more. I just think all the time with these precious moms, I'm like, I'm maybe one step away from being right where they were, or right where they are. Like there's really there's nothing different between me and between these moms. And I want them to know their preciousness in the Lord. And so I just really feel like, that has been a work that the Lord has done. I can have a very prideful heart. That's one of my downfalls.
Amen.
I feel
she's not. She's very, very humble.
But I think this is really just, kind of leveled out the playing field as we serve families.
Well, it's been real, friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
We should do like 5 more of these.
I know. Thanks for being married to us. We know we're not the easiest to be married to.
Yes, all the
we're so
wild
grateful for you
hours
guys.
and inconsistencies. You've been our
You guys are
our biggest supporters.
You're a dynamic duo. I don't think
You
that we
are.
can get in the way between the two of you.
No.
We're happy to travel with you wherever you go. But
Yes. It is quite fun when 4 of us travel together.
yeah. Yep.
We enjoy. Do you guys know what we say at the end of our podcast?
Oh, tomorr's another day.
No, that is how it should be said.
Absolutely butchered it.
Oh, no.
Just kidding. Tomorrow's the next day.
The next day. Sorry.
Which is more profound.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's completely different than what you said.
tomorrow's the next day.
So thanks for joining us, friends.
Yep. Tomorrow's the next day.
Nice.